Nova Scotia's EMO asked to use the hall as a registration centre for residents of Portapique who had fled their homes. An RCMP officer was posted here in a cruiser. By this time, police were on the hunt for the shooter, who they knew was impersonating a police officer. At 10:30 a.m., 2 RCMP officers fired multiple shots outside the hall. Sources have told CTV News the officers thought they were firing at the suspect, when it was in fact a fellow Mountie.
This program is brought to you in part by...
Why don't you get yourself some turned-down collars, Poirot? They're much more the thing, you know.
The thing, Hastings? Do you think Poirot concerns himself with mere thingness?
No. No, I see that.
The turned-down collar is the first symptom of decay of the grey cells.
You know, I just think if people keep pushing, I can't, first of all, thank enough all of the hard work. There's 3 fellow YouTubers who are working very, very hard with me on this one. Rage in the Cage, Steve LTT, and Just My Stupid Opinion. Just plugging them, sorry. But they are fantastic guys, really been busting their humps here. And, you know, stepping up to the plate, because there's a certain amount of risk saying certain things. And also, likewise, all of the people who are volunteering information and time, which is, like I said, over on the Discord or sending me anonymously information, it is fantastic.
Hello. How's everybody doing? Mark Evans, Canada Girl. New face? Is it new? Thumbs up. Thank you. How's Mark doing? All right. So, SHUBE. Lots of things. Hopefully can explain it well. We're going to try and start with something fairly simple. Okay. So as we know, the Morrisen story said that, I've got this unmuted, right? Okay, good. The Morrisen story says that Kathy, how's it going? And Christina says that Mr. Morrisen was shot approximately the north end of the river here, 224, and drove down to either Milford Station, the EHS station, right? It's called Milford by most people. Or he took the number 2, which funnily enough actually is, I believe, kind of the faster route. I don't know why it's got it marked off all this way. But anyway, the thing is that when I was reviewing the warrant, if you think about it, and this is much help to Green Bastard, because he's been kind enough to brainstorm with me on the phone about a whole bunch of different things this afternoon. So we were discussing, this is the usual route, would be the normal route, probably, would be 2, right? So if you think about it this way, Morrison is shot, and he travels down, and we know, where's that quote? That from Campbell. Campbell says, let's see here. Let's see if I can find it. Michael Penny. Sorry I haven't got back to you, sir. I do have a whole bunch of messages outstanding I haven't answered yet, so my apologies to everybody. Not ignoring, and thank you very much for all your hard work. I know there's a lot of people, funnily enough, in the last couple of days who've really stepped up and taken some pictures and videos, and I haven't even got to them all. It's pretty phenomenal. So thank you. Clips. Here we go. Now, You remember I got really kind of bent a long time ago about a quotation that Campbell said. Okay, that's nice. I can't find it now. Of course. At one of the press conferences. All right, well, maybe it's not there. Why don't we try up? And so what Campbell said was correct flow of traffic. You guys remember that? So if we look at the picture of the SHUBE, I'm sure you guys remember what I'm talking about, so we won't get into that. But he said a line that was very important. She was traveling in the correct flow of traffic. What would that mean? The correct flow of traffic, if we looked at Google Earth, zooming out here, we're over in Milford. Oh, balls. Why does it have this stupid view? I want it to turn up. Like you can't do that? She's on the ramp. And she's coming northbound on Highway 2. Is that correct? Have I lost anybody there? Highway 2, and she's traveling northbound. He's going to be heading southbound. He's been shot 10:49. Is that correct? They're going to be passing each other. Why is it that he's not notifying her that he's shot? He drives right by her on the way to the EHS station. That's probably the first and easiest one, and that's a scary one. If you read the warrant, even though it's got pieces blacked out in here in convenient, I would say very convenient places, it does indicate 32.14, Constable Morrisen hit the ERTT button several times, but didn't think it went through, and then got on the radio and said that he had been shot and he was going to the EHS station in Milford. 3214.1. ERT button is located on radio systems, portable and in-car radios, and when pressed signifies to dispatch that the officer requires immediate assistance. Constable Morrisen hit the guardrail trying to get onto Highway 2, headed south down towards Highway 2, down to Milford, right there. Where is that? There. 3215. Highway 2. Highway 2. Where was Stevenson's car? It was coming up the on-ramp, Highway 2. Right? Let's look at the map. Where was the accident? Do you see the correct flow of traffic? United Church. Here is the convenience store over here by Burgess Road. She drove up here, and the accident occurred round about where my mouse is, if you can see it. Okay? So that means that they drove by each other. They drove by each other. Why is it that Constable Morrisen, who's in radio contact with her earlier, saying, which I will get into next, because that part, problems. But I'm raising issues, questions. Again, please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Melancholy look on his face. Get out of here. So he drove straight down to the station, which would have taken, again, about 6 minutes, according to this, right? He shot at 10:49. That means he's arriving down there at about 10:55. Somewhere in here, they drove by each other down Highway 2. Somewhere. and he doesn't inform her. He just informs that he's been shot himself. He goes on further to say, when he's at the ERT or the EHS station, he was concerned that he had been followed. Constable Morrison pulled into the parking lot and exited his vehicle. Constable Morrison then you got a big blank. These blanks are outrageous. I really hope Halfpenny is going to get a lot of trouble for these blanks, because the RCMP hiding this kind of information is not relevant to any kind of investigation. And this kind of stuff, I'm going to ask my lawyer, I believe is illegal, addressed in prior proceedings. Re-redacting previously released information, I don't believe is legal. You can't go back and re-redact. Not played that way, but the why they do that is to make it ultra confusing, so when you're reading it, the redactions are so bad in this warrant that victims' names, which have been released, obviously, and were unredacted, ruled unredacted, are now re-redacted in this warrant. Unbelievable. Blue's in here? Hey, Jill, how's it going? Harles, point. All right. Constable Morrison tried to get into the EHS station, but no one was there, and radioed again for help that he was at the EHS station. I'm not hearing anything about his partner, his supposed partner that he radioed just a few moments before, well, it would be a few minutes in this case, where he said, he noted that a Taurus, he being Morrison, noted that a Taurus was coming his direction a few hundred meters away and questioned whether it was the suspect or not. Constable Morrison went over the police radio and asked who was coming towards him. And Constable Stevenson radioed that it was her. We'll get into that. Constable Morrison went to move his police vehicle to a better position to speak with Constable Stevenson and pulled onto Highway 224. Again, we will get into that. But the fact that, based on the fact that Constable Stevenson, Constable Stevenson had said that was her, he relaxed. So he spoke to her. Then he gets shot. Then he radios. He uses the ERTT button, saying that he, bing, 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 I need assistance. And he actually got on the radio and said that he'd been shot. He drives by her on the way to the EHS station. He was meeting her. He would have driven by her. Why did he not inform his partner to stay the hell away? Instead, she goes up here to the ramp and gets shot. Anybody want to help me understand how that's possible? He didn't warn her. Not according to the warrant. Now, are they going to come back and they're going to say, I think this is ever-evolving story, as we all know. They just rewrite as we go. Are they going to say that in these conveniently placed black boxes, it's going to say, oh yeah, sorry, we redacted that he radioed her because that's so pertinent and important to hide for the ongoing investigation, don't you know? The onus should be on the government to prove at this point in time why. But of course, David Coles, who is the lawyer for the media group, is not allowed to participate in many discussions. You got to go away. Found some more good relationships too between people. This stuff is starting to get spooky. Now, that would be my first point. And if you have any input on that, I would love to hear it. Now, I'm going to try and read again from the start what happened. You think she came the 224. Sorry. You think that she came the 224. I'm not understanding. Staples sells Sharpies in bulk. You think that she came to the 224? Because she was traveling the correct flow of traffic. The correct flow of traffic is here. Right? Oh, sorry. Guess it helps. Here. Correct flow of traffic. Accident took place here. Correct? Meaning she came from Highway 2 up here. Morrisen went this direction. He would have driven by her somewhere in here. Look back. Okay, sorry. Up to 100 cops, Elmsdale and Enfield. Why did they send 2 cops to SHUBE and one of them Heidi, suspecting? You mean this? You're just trying to say suspicious? Seems strange. Seems strange. So I'll read you the warrant in its redacted entirety, shall we say. Constable Morrisen, this statement, by the way, was given on the 21st. I believe that there was a statement given on the 19th. So I'm going to have to go back through the old warrants. And if anybody has memory of those, please bring me up to speed. But I believe there was a statement issued, so I'd like to compare them and see what's gone on, if there's been any funny stuff. Morrisen provided a statement April 21st, 2020 to Constable McFarland and said the following. 32.1. Constable Morrisen was working in uniform in general duty capacity in Enfield RCMP April 19th, 2020, and was aware of the events that were occurring in Colchester County. Okay, so, and somebody kindly, couple of you, actually a few of you, knows you who help know who you are. I don't know ever if I should call people out or not, but it's not a solo effort, definitely. Help me determine that 15B refers to, B is referring to the city. I think we talked about that. And 15 is referring to a city or town car, urban car. And 15 refers to Enfield. So the SUV number 15B6 being the one that was down there in Milford was in fact out of Enfield. So more than likely, obviously, somebody out of Enfield, to which Constable Morrisen was. I believe that Constable Stevenson was that day, but she's also integrated, so she could have been out of Halifax. Depends on how you look at it. Constable Morrison was told by Constable Stevenson to go to the intersection of Highway 2 and 224, and thought Constable Stevenson told him this shortly after 1000 hours. Constable Morrison attended the location and thought this was shortly before 1100 hours. So it took a while for them to get there, or him. He parked his fully marked police cruiser and SUV just south of the SHUBE Wildlife Park. Now, it gets confusing, and it's confusing on purpose, is my estimation. But we have the SHUBE Wildlife Park here. There are, let's see, I don't know how to get this to change. I don't know why it's done this view like this. I don't like this view. I'm a terrible driver. I don't know how I ever got a license. Let's see, maybe I can fix it. Can I do that? No. See, it's in some funny view now. Are you smurfing me? Ah, thank you. All right. Now, where am I? SHUBE. All right. So here we are on the north end of the river. 224 and 2 is this intersection. Gaze River Road is running the up to down on your screen, and left to right is 2. So somewhere in this area, Constable Morrison is. South of SHUBE Wildlife Park, which is over here, seems to indicate to me that he's on 224, but you'll hear it's confusing. Constable Morrison heard someone he thought to be Bruce, in brackets, Staff Sergeant Briers, ask for 2 East Haunts RCMP members to come to Colchester to assist. Constable Stevenson told Constable Morrison that she would come to his position. Constable Morrison said that he was listening on the radio and found it confusing to understand where the suspect was, but thought the suspect was in the Brookfield area and was not expecting the suspect to be coming his way at this time. So that, of course, is correct, right? Because it keeps pace with the tweets, roughly. It says that he's in Brookfield at that time. We had 2 different, the vehicles is confusing, but we won't touch that one for now. He noted that a Taurus was coming his direction a few hundred meters away and questioned whether it was the suspect or not. Constable Morrison went over the police radio and asked who was coming towards him. Constable Stevenson radioed it was her. Constable Morrison went to move his police vehicle to be in a better position to speak with Constable Stevenson and pulled onto Highway 224, which was facing Highway 2 near the stop sign. So it seems to indicate that he was on 2. So if we have a look here, look northbound. Now, I was trying to explain, I don't know if this is going to make sense, but vehicles traveling in 2 different directions, and maybe I'm wrong, vehicles traveling in two different directions are going to pass each other much quicker. So the time frame that you have is actually halved. So if he is parked, that's one thing. If he is traveling northbound, he doesn't have much of an opportunity to see what's coming towards him. But somehow, somehow in this, because if you pull back, as you'll see, the road becomes obstructed. To have a clear line of sight doesn't occur on this road until you're further along. Now you're into it, right? But right down here, we can, funnily enough, see 224. 224, okay? So he's either driving, in which case you have one vehicle rushing towards you, you have another vehicle rushing the opposite direction, which are you're not going to have a lot of time. You're not going to have a lot of time probably to get on the blower and say, hey, Heidi, is that you? Wait. Yeah, it's me. I'm coming towards you. Okay, thank you. I was worried about that. Are you following me? Then he also has to turn over here. Now on to 224. Now this is where it gets slightly interesting too. Plus you can see, I mean, this is very close, this vehicle, but if it were a cruiser, how are you going to tell necessarily right away, if it's further away, that it's got a push bar on? Now, there are two areas to be pulled over. There is here on the left-hand side of the screen. There's over here on the right-hand side with the mailboxes, right? I want you to, we're going to change the view and look north. Now, what do you see? Because now somehow he's done a U-turn also in this time. He's done a U-turn. He's talked on the radio several times. And in all that time, I don't know what speed Mr. Morrison, or sorry, Mr. Wortman or the other vehicle is traveling at. But clearly he's not traveling very fast at all. What do you see? If you're sitting here, and I'm looking up the highway, I can't really see anything. Let's see what he says, though. So he's facing the stop sign. He's done a U-turn, right? But he doesn't indicate that he did a U-turn. It says that he went to move his vehicle to a better position to speak to Constable Stevenson and pulled onto 224 and was facing Highway 2 near the stop sign. Constable Morrison noted the push bar on the front of the marked car, and it made him pause. Based on the fact that Constable Stevenson said it was her, he relaxed. So he doesn't know where she is, but I guess, sure, okay, let's go with that. Other than the black push bar, there was nothing different about the marked police car. How much is he seeing here? What do you see? There's not a lot of time. There's trees, lots of trees. In fact, the trees go up fairly far. You could be parked here, like literally on the stop sign, and have a few seconds. Okay. As the marked police car being operated by Gabriel Wortman arrived, it still did not cause concern for Constable Morrison, as the vehicle was traveling at a normal rate of speed. Does anybody know what the speed limit is down there? I was reviewing a video. I think there's about possibly 15 seconds of driving time visibility one direction. It would be about 7.5. Let's see if we can find that video I was watching. Is it this one? No. We use Indo Blue 82. We use the unclipped version. I like the two clipped versions by two different YouTubers right at that intersection. Very strange, I find that. I don't know about you guys. Let's see here. Okay, so here we go. Now, look towards the screen. You're going to, what can you see? How long can you see it for? 1,000, 2, 1,000. Can you tell right now, say the car coming towards you, could you tell it had a push bar? Could you tell? 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000, 7, 1,000. So you have time to talk on the radio. You have time to do a U-turn. You have time to park on the side of the highway. You have time to see through the trees, which we'll see right now, at a normal rate of speed. As the vehicle got closer, he saw that it was a male. He saw that it was a male. Let's go over here again to oh, there's leaves in the way though, Seamus. Well, there's also pine trees in there. A male. Okay. Okay. These are experiments that, funnily enough, can be replicated. Replicated. 2 people could go down here and do these reenactments and time things out, try things out, and see. Because it's just like the gas station, which I won't touch right now, but I said a long time ago, it's lines of sight and times and physics and math. And just pure logic. As the police car approached, it turned left. So he saw in the in term here. So you have how many feet? You've got looks like this car is probably what, about 6. Let's give it 6, 7 feet times 3 car lengths, 4 car lengths, 28 feet. He could tell it was a male from here. Can you tell who's in that car? Can you tell? Let's say you have super zoom vision like this. Can you still tell? No, I can't. Maybe my eyes, they are pretty bad, but I can't tell who's driving that car. I couldn't tell if it was a male or a female. He had a hat on, didn't he? Didn't he have a hat on? Milford, he had a hat on. Or sorry, Millbrook, he had a hat on. How do you know that it was a male? As the marked police car approached, it turned left onto 224. So there would be driver side to driver side with Constable Morrison's police vehicle. Constable Morrison realized it was not Constable Stevenson, and he recognized the driver to be the suspect in the picture of Gabriel Wortman that he had received to be on the lookout for. So I guess he got a BOLO report. Perhaps it was the same picture that we saw. It was a person, a male, wearing a hat. Again, is that something you're going to be able to identify? But the next parts are quite interesting. Constable Morrison said the suspect looked to have a melancholy expression as he was turning in front of him. Can you see the melancholy look? You know what I see on this person with the super zoomed look, because this is the accurate look of what you would see sitting on the side of the road. I know that person, he, she, zer, whatever they are over there, is definitely pissed. Melancholy means sadness. I could tell that they're having a bad day. Look at that. Don't you know? Don't you know? Turning in front of him, suspect have a look of melancholy expression as he was turning in front of him. And then he had a, quote, grit look on his face as he started to raise the gun. Constable Morrisen said the suspect brandished a handgun out of the window and began firing at him. Does he say it's a silver handgun, a black handgun, a revolver, a six-shooter? No. Zero description. Yeah, grit. Exactly. Grit. Yeah. Melancholy and grit. And the person that I speak with who RCMP is like, this is not something a police report ever would say. Melancholy and grit. That sounds like something out of a novel. And funnily enough, it sounds more feminine in writing. Angela Howerluck. Not something a guy would really say. Might say, look pissed. Might say he looks sad. Probably not say melancholy. Grit. We get, oh, now it does change to silver. Sorry, my apologies. I didn't read that. Constable Morrisen thinks that there were 3 or 4 shots fired and it happened in a split second and that it was from a silver handgun. Again, no description of what kind of gun that is. And then we have Constable Morrisen floored it and took off from where he was parked because that's going to really impede the investigation. The black there, you know, just like how many times he was shot. Do you remember? That was blacked out. How many times? Couldn't say how many times he was shot. How does that change anything? How does that affect an investigation? If there was an investigation into, say, guns in the United States, which I am absolutely not saying is going on, how does that change anything if he was shot 5 times? If he was shot twice? If he was shot 0 times? Does it change anything about those people in the United States with guns? Hypothetically? Would it? No. Lisa McDonald helped write the witness statements. Yes. Well, they're writing books. They're all got book deals. All the people in this story have book deals. How funny that is. Post April 19th. Constable Morrisen hit the ERTT button several times, but didn't think it went through, and then got on his radio to say, the person I'm meeting, the person I know, the officer I'm with, hey, I'm over here waiting for you, and I just got shot. No. What we're going to say is, said that he had been shot and he was going to the EHS station in Milford. And then we get told a bunch of junk about what the ERTT button is, which nobody cares. They like to fill the air with useless nonsense. Constable Morrisen hit the guardrail trying to get on Highway 2, headed down towards Highway 2 in Milford. Where is that exactly? Where is that exactly? I know many of you have been plugging away. There are pictures. I'm sorry. I will go through those at another point in time. I have some from very early on from somebody who has kind of gone quiet, like a few people, sadly. People keep going quiet, not quite understanding this one. People need help down there. That was easy button? Okay. Constable Morrisen arrived at the EHS station in Milford. Okay, so, and then we've got a gigantic blank. Sorry. Again, that's going to severely affect it. A couple of these blanks here. Very much affect the investigation. The investigation into a dead man who was kind of in custody at 11:40, but was really dead at 11:26, handcuffed, as he was shot in his car, as he was waiting because he needed gas in his car while he sat in his car. And the ERT vehicles came up. ERT, single, one tactical unit. One tactical unit, not that parade, not that thing that you saw with the signs all conveniently down, which basically take a hurricane to knock over, and weren't down in strange ways, all laid down the same direction. And yes, somebody has gone down there and figured out how much those weigh. Not exactly something that goes down easily. Constable Morrisen tried to get in the EHS station, but no one was there, and he radioed again for help, and that he was at the EHS station. I'm still waiting for Heidi. The thought of Heidi, his partner, the one he was going to meet. Constable Morrisen thought about what happened if the suspect, Gabriel Wortman, followed him, and how he would be a sitting duck in the parking lot and grabbed his rifle and went behind the EHS building. Now again, here brings up another point. When we go back here, back to Gaze River, all night, Constable Mr. Wortman, the gunman, whatever you wish to phrase him as, the killer, mass murderer, person that we are all looking at, has been around police all night, all morning. Wentworth, I think it was Mr. Leather, said we were right beside him. Now, he would have driven by probably a couple of police officers who wouldn't exactly know where he was. They were kind of trying to figure that all out. Did Mr. Wortman try and kill any police officers in that period of time? Down in Portapique, did he try to kill any police officers? No, he didn't. So why all of a sudden would he be driving down the highway here, wherever his intended destination is, probably down south, possibly Gina Goulet's, possibly Halifax? Why would he decide to turn left and now come after police and target them? Oh, well, maybe he snapped. Maybe. That's possible. But again, where's he going now? He's going the wrong direction. right? He needs to turn around too. So Constable Morrison floored it, got out of there, hit a guardrail, whatever guardrail that is, because they don't want to be specific. And he gets down to Milford. I'm sure he was looking in his rearview mirror. He didn't see anybody. He was parked at the side of the building. And again, if you look at the picture, funnily enough, from the street view, it's not a very long period of time that you would have to drive by that equally, right? Here we go. There's the EHS station. His car is parked by the heating unit, I believe somebody determined it was. Thank you. I think that was Mr. Moneypenny. How his vehicle would be maybe visible at this point in time, the rear bumper possibly. Now, not really. Now, maybe a little bit. So he's thinking that Mr. Wortman is driving, even though he's never seen him since. He's driving down the road, scoping in every nook and cranny, because he would fly by here, right? Wouldn't he? Wouldn't he? Let me get an interesting statement here. Constable Morrison could see Highway 14. Okay, so let's go out here. Highway 14 is at the top of your screen, right here. Okay, Faith Community Church. He could see Highway 14. Now, I did get some pictures from a couple of people. Thank you. Let's see if we can show those. Click on 2D to make it 3D. Yes, I of course am so up to snuff and with the times. Now, thank you for that though. Maybe I hopefully will remember that 2D, 3D. Okay. Let's see if we can get some of these pictures. And I got a couple of videos too. Now, there is apparently more, and thank you to this person, obviously. Don't know if you want to get called out. The trees are trimmed down a little bit, so you get a little bit more view. But is it realistic to think that Mr. Wortman is doing that? Is he really thinking and worrying about that? Let's see here. Okay. Now, I didn't have a chance to phone this person, unfortunately, and have a little visit with them. I believe that they're at the corner. So there's a gas station here, Milford Wilson's, okay, which Constable Morrison will refer to seeing, as well as he sees Highway 14 here through these trees here at the back, which are quite considerable. Talked about this a little bit yesterday. It may be visible. I'm not saying that it's impossible. This is the view of have I got this right? If you're in here and you feel like identifying yourself, let's see. So he said that he can see the gas station. We'll read that in a moment. So there's, oops, sorry. There's the gas station, right? The Esso there. Okay. The EHS station is over this way. Oh, sorry. Balls. It helps if you change screens, right? Okay. So back in these trees somewhere is the EHS station. Here's another view, which somebody kindly went and took today. And to be honest with you, I can't tell where the EHS station is. Oh, sorry. Hopefully that's not too much information. TMI. My hands moved. I frankly can't tell where the EHS station is. But apparently Mr. Morrisen has X-ray vision once again. He can see through trees. He sees melancholy looks. He sees grit looks. He sees push bars. Here we go. He's seeing through trees again. How interesting. Now, this statement I found interesting. Constable Morrisen could see Highway 14. Let's see here. Sorry, because he's actually not gone around back. My apologies. Constable Morrisen tried to get in the EHS station, but no one was there, and radioed again for help. That he was at the EHS station. Nobody was at the EHS station. Nobody. Not one person. Okay. Constable Morrisen thought about what could happen if the suspect, Gabriel Wortman, with the grit melancholy face, followed him, and how he would be a sitting duck in the parking lot and grabbed the rifle and went behind the EHS building. So now he's behind the building, right? Let's kind of get a boo at where he is. Okay. So the EHS building is the one here at the top of your screen. As you can see, there's quite a bit of trees. I'm not sure how he's seeing through these trees to see the gas station. That's a lot of trees. You can see parts of Highway 14 from behind the EHS station, not the Esso station, too far. Okay, interesting. Now, I could see, yes, the lights, but it's the way that it's phrased that's rather interesting. Constable Morrisen could see Highway 14 and gas station and saw black SUVs with police lights traveling close to where he was, and then traveled towards the scene as he understood Constable Stevenson to get shot. Now, the inference there is that he's seeing black SUVs going down Highway 14. Am I hearing that correctly? Could see Highway 14 and the gas station and saw black SUVs with police lights traveling close to where he was, and then traveled towards the scene where he understood Constable Stevenson to be. Now, I believe that it's a kind of a homing beacon, number 1, 2, on the ERTT, but I will ask tonight. I will talk with my wonderful helper in the RCMP. But clearly he's not seeing that through the building here onto Highway 2, so he must be seeing it onto Highway 14, right? Now, how does he know? How does he know Constable Stevenson has been shot? It says, close towards the scene where he understood Constable Stevenson to be shot. Next point. Constable Morrisen could hear on the radio that 2 police vehicles were on fire and that there was an officer down, and the officer was missing their gun and 2 mags. Constable Morrison heard Tim Mills, a police officer, say on the radio, Stevenson is down. But previously he knew that the black SUVs were going to see Stevenson, but he wasn't told that she was dead. How's that work? Unless he's putting it back in past tense, or maybe Angela is. Sounds a bit strange. EHS arrived, and a male and female brought Constable Morrison into the ambulance bay and began to treat him and subsequently transport him to Colchester Hospital. And then there's a gigantic blank, because I'm sure his stuff must be very important to hide. He does have a lot of superpowers. Psychic, telepathy, yeah. X-ray vision, lots of that going on. Very great zooming vision, too. I can see that grit, melancholy look. It's also a very good author. Again, we know that this statement isn't written by him, right? It's not written by him. It's written by somebody else because it's referred to as Constable Morrison. Constable Morrison. So who is it that's doing the interview again? McFarlane. Not sure if anybody's familiar with Constable McFarlane. We could have a little look at him, see who he knows. And then we have a statement underneath the big blanked out section that says, I believe that hard body armor worn by Constable Morrison stopped the bullet from entering his chest and abdomen. So it doesn't say that they saw the vest and that there was a bullet that was found in it. Doesn't indicate that his body had a bruising from the bullet. Doesn't mention anything about his arms. Remember? Just you got a big black box. Now, the 2 ERT vehicles that he saw, black, right? Not the same ERT vehicle. I don't know how many ERT vehicles. I'm going to try and find out how many ERT vehicles roughly are in Nova Scotia. I'm thinking that there might not be a terribly high amount. Constable Morrison saw them down south, right? Let's see. So they're going to have to travel up north, back on the 102, back up north here, all the way around until we get to, where's the first pull-off? Somebody want to help me with that one? Where is the first pull-off of 102? Could put that in Google Maps or Google Earth. Where's that Google Earth thing? Sorry, not Google Earth. Well, it was 6 minutes, right? But that wasn't traveling by the 102. How long is it going to take by the 102? Because I don't think, here we go, 215? They're going to have to do 215 back down around through SHUBE, it appears. And we know, and this is an important thing that we're going to have to do, is the timing of everything. Because we have enough pictures, funnily enough, that we can kind of draw a pretty good timeline that's pretty close together. Joey Weber's vehicle, No cars on fire. No Joey Weber's vehicle. Cars on fire. ERT. It's all a very short time frame. Very, very short time frame. So they got there really quickly too. So he drives down south. He being Morrison drives south to the EHS station, which takes 6 minutes, give or take. I'm sure he's speeding. Let's say 4. I don't know. It's got to be hard to drive with the arms, but you know, he's probably got a lot of adrenaline going. And he doesn't have to clog his mind with the radioing certain things. So you got 4 minutes down there, and then you're gonna he sees the ERT vehicles driving by, which are probably going to take another 4 minutes or so back. So what time is that now? 10:49 plus 8 is 10:57. The time doesn't work again. If it's the same ERT vehicles. Funny thing is that there's only one ERT vehicle on scene. And Wortman left in the silver Explorer, Joey Weber's Explorer, shortly after obviously torching the scene, murdering these people very tragically, and left right away. And then right away, the ERT team came on scene. And as it was told to me, they got a call and they left right away. Now, if they left right away and they went south on 224, 224 is pretty much to Gina's house, is a straightaway. It's visible the entire way. They would have known also that he was in the silver tracker. Silver Explorer. How did they not see him pull into Gina's house? Another interesting discovery today was closure. Not sure if you guys remember this photo. This photo. Not sure what time this was taken at, this road closure. It does appear I had it 9 hours. It was pretty early on because I have the archived copy, but it's not necessarily right away. I don't know, because pictures, obviously everything was going down fairly quick succession. But the road closure here was rather interesting. This is north and east of the big stop. Why is there a car traveling down? This car would have been traveling from the big stop. Yet they've got this direction closed. However, it's the same thing over on the highway. Northbound traffic was closed north of the airport. Southbound traffic was a straight through. Why was that? I'm sure by this point, everybody knew he was not down in Halifax. Why did they have that road closed? Why did they have the 102 closed? Northbound. Let's go through some of your comments here. That just gives you kind of a rough summarization. Hopefully I made sense with some of what I said. Thanks very much to Green Bastard for, bouncing ideas and giving me some great thoughts there. Hi, oh dear. Wonderful. So I don't think what we're reading here in this warrant, and no, I'm sorry, I don't think it's good to release it in its entirety at this point in time. I don't want to get in any kind of trouble. I'd rather see that it came out in the media. It's not that I'm trying to withhold information. I'd rather just play things safely. But I definitely won't keep things hidden. I didn't even want to talk about this to begin with. until something would come out. But frankly, I think at this point in time, it's not going to come out. And the statements that are made in this warrant, they cherry pick. They're cherry picking comments out of it in the media, which are supporting narratives that are probably not necessarily true in some cases. Certain people definitely who have said, no, this is not accurate to what I'm saying or to what happened. First-hand witness, by the way. So, plus we have this narrative being spun. Nobody wants to make the RCMP look bad in this. At least in the media. I have no interest in making the RCMP look bad. What I do have interest in is just getting answers, just like you do. And truth. Not that. This is disgusting. Disgusting. And possibly illegal. I don't know as that's been raised. But definitely judicial review on rulings that Halfpenny Macquarie has made is underway. So the judgments that she's made are in question. The sad part of that is who gets to hear that hearing? Do you think that's another judge, an impartial person? No, that's Halfpenny Macquarie who gets to decide whether she made a mistake herself. Does it sound like the RCMP investigating the RCMP with the shit? This is all a gigantic scam, people. We better wake up. Let's go back here a little bit. Hope everybody's having a super day. And hopefully I didn't confuse with my poor driving skills and things. Now I know how to hit 2D, 3D. Grit. Contrived, embellished. Face reader. What if Gabriel self-identified as a woman? Okay. I mean, I can't tell. I don't know. Maybe it's just my eyes. I'm totally willing to say my eyes are not that great. I do not need glasses. I wear them. I can wear them. As you see, I don't wear them all the time. I think I've worn them like 5 times since I bought them. 80 kilometers in that area normally. 80 kilometers. Okay, there we go. 2 cars heading towards each other at 80 kilometers an hour. This is an experiment that can be replicated and filmed from both directions. Maybe even 3. Does this statement, can it be supported by replicated scientific experiment? Frankly, I don't think so. It's better than supposition. It's honest to goodness investigative work. And frankly, if I lived down there, I would do it. And if I could travel in this nonsense, I would do it. I did do it. I did it in Quebec. I did go and drive the routes. That's how I know. Because then you learn. You see it for yourself. You're like, I don't know. But I could be wrong, you know. Then when you do it yourself, you're like, no. Gentleman hiding in the woods is on the edge of hypothermia. Absolutely. But of course, that warrant then was issued, which is this warrant. Okay. You have to keep in mind when these things are being done. When was this warrant filed? Says the statement, say on Morrison's part, was taken on the 21st, which I think there was a preliminary one that's in prior warrants. Okay, this sorry, I'm very big on paper. I like paper. This was filed on the 5th of May. Do you think that we discussed on this channel? Do you think, Angela? Thanks, Angela. And who is the judge that signed off on this? Kelly Shannon. Not familiar with Kelly Shannon in this story. Yeah. 5th of May. Do you think that prior to the 5th of May, scrolling back through videos, do you think that the idea of hypothermia was discussed on this channel? Warrants. Things get raised on, and I'm not just saying here, on the Facebook or here, but I do know that a couple of them definitely have come through here. And interesting people popping up recently too. Now, we raise it somewhere in the scheme of things, not saying anything to anybody in particular, Facebook's, whoever did it, that took notice. And then they write a warrant and they address the hypothermia issue. Oh yeah, she had a coat, by the way, don't you know? But she just threw it away in the woods because that's what you do when it's cold outside, so that the police could find her because of her jacket in the woods. What the hell does that mean? What would they find? A jacket. Oh, sniffer dogs, sniffer dogs. Sniffer dogs, funnily enough, could pick her up, period. She wouldn't have to get cold. Clinton, who was a fairly bulky man who went all silent. The one person who came out initially, we've got what, 2 now? 2? Is that right? We have people who don't see anything, like Brenda doesn't see anything save one incident, which doesn't seem like it could be construed as a psychopathic series of abuses. Oh, and witness staring. I'm not sure even what that means. For a veteran, even though her resume doesn't indicate that. And her husband, who doesn't suffer from PTSD, from what I understand, they're terrified of stairs. And what other people tell them. That's very scary. Very scary to have those kinds of things. She was with the cops all night. That is an interesting theory. One that should be entertained. I think everything and anything in this story should be entertained as a possibility until it's ruled out. And it is an interesting one. Thank you, Michael. Equally, I will share this with you. There is some more proof I found today of, with Green Bastard's help, thank you again, of more disinformation. Cars crashing at 50 kilometers a day, 50 kilometers. Perhaps you can link me that, Steve, in the Discord. The damage on that vehicle also was on the inside, which I think you guys all noticed, right? The inside of that vehicle. Oh, this is a very poor copy. I'm sorry. Let me see. Pull one up. But there is a disinformation campaign going on, and there was some clear evidence found today of one particular individual. So you have to keep the radar really. Mine is on high alert. Maybe it might be on too high alert, which I'm totally willing to admit. But with the amount of dishonesty the cover-up, which is, I don't think can be denied. You have to be cautious of who's saying what and who they are. Now, where was I here? Right. Okay. Portvic. Milford. Again, this is something else that can be... Why is my folder missing? It's weird. That's weird. That's a terrible copy. What is that? Here we go. Okay, excellent. Excellent. Egg salad. Now, damage on this vehicle. We've got lots of different damage. It's sitting at the back of the lot, of course, but very visible from the highway. Very visible. What damage is there? It appears that there is a smashed mirror, right? Smashed rear passenger window. This one is down. I read something about the door was open, which is rather interesting. Somebody's closed the door now. Then you also have the great eyes again, green bastard. And I'm sure whoever else has said that, my apologies if I've missed that, because I'm sure many people did. The what appears to be the the passenger's side window is also smashed, because we have bars. So this would be the driver's window is got some damage to it. And then we have the bullet hole here. So that's 1, 2, 3 bullet holes. Plus then you have this scrape, which is at a downward angle. Now you hit a guardrail. I suppose if you're going on the inside around a corner at very high rate of speed, you could have it going on a downward angle. But it's interesting to note that it's on a downward angle. And it extends from the front wheel well all the way back, and I believe actually includes the rear wheel well on the backside here a little bit, but definitely up into the front portion of the rear wheel well. Other than that, I don't know if there's a lot of damage. And the 15B6 does appear to be out of Enfield. Now, let's move along and check out some of your comments. They sent her down to Leon Jowdry's and said, call 911. We will come and get you. It's a good theory, Michael. I like it. It's a theory. Everything's theories. Open to... Until you can dismiss it, I think this is always a good thing. Push bar, according to the warrant, was made by a company that produced aluminum push bars. Again, who is this information coming from? I don't think, frankly, the RCMP have a very good track record right now for telling the truth. I think the justice system indicates that this kind of stuff here is fucking nonsense and meant to confuse. Is this to be transparent? Transparent. That's not transparent. And this is rife with it. Rife. It's all over. I mean, look at that. It's everywhere. Sharpies on special. I want my underwear back. Pause, both confused. This is super strange. That is super strange, point fire. I think I missed point fire. Oh, let's see. The gentleman hiding in the woods was on the edge. Yeah, sorry. That's referring to 80 kilometers. Thanks for that, Michael. Clicks, kilometers in Nova Scotia speak. Okay, yeah, clicks. Sorry. I don't have very good pronunciation and lexicon yet. That was Nova Scotia speak. Getting there. I could go and have a TNT. What is it? Brothers. I've got it in the fridge. It's very good. It's not very TNT, but whatever. Missed the notification. In my eyes, better than a camera. If my eyes are better than a camera, yes. Okay. Michael Penny. Don't know who, where she was with. I don't believe she was where she claimed to be. Adrenaline wouldn't carry an all-nighter. No, didn't carry Clinton at all. I like how it's his video just keeps getting shorter. I think eventually here it will just disappear. Clinton will probably just say, "Hi, how you doing?" If you know that Nova Scotia police cars don't have push bars, and you wouldn't notice push bar on the front of the car. Now, I mentioned that. I will show that article. I don't know where that is. I'm sure everybody, like everybody else, scanning around for probably in the SHUBE folder. I wish somebody would come and organize my computer. That would be awesome. And my phone. This is way too many photos now. Okay. SHUBE accident. Oh, balls. Where is that article? I was able to find a push bar out of Nova Scotia on it just popped up one day. It was the weirdest thing. I've been looking. Oh, here it is. Okay. Boom. It was the weirdest thing. I'd been searching. And then probably 2-3 months in, we were always on about this shows up out of Barrie 360, whatever, Barrie, Ontario, I'm presuming. I don't know if this is a radio station, looks like. And then we have the date on the 21st. But here you can clearly see that this is an older style car. I don't know whether you guys had push bars at one point in time. But the push bar is there. All of a sudden. So this business that they never had a push bar on any vehicle, is that so? Is that so? I don't know. Is that article a plant article? Possibly. Anything is possible, not putting tinfoil on. That stuff happens. Anybody who doesn't know that then should possibly read. I have more than enough documentation to help you with that if you're looking, and it's not from crazy sources. She was with cops all night, extra blue bars on the back. Okay, well, how many blue bars? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 on this one. Is it 8 and 12? 6 on that other car? The legitimacy of that video has always been in question too. And a trunk antenna. Trunk antenna, yep. Trunk antenna. Trunk antenna. Got me thinking there for a moment. Sorry. One moment, please. One moment. I don't think we can see it in this. Ooh. Motherfucker. Okay, the car is burning at that point. Sorry, just trying to see if I can see. I'm sure you guys have all looked, and I have, I'm sure too, but there was one photo. I thought maybe you might be able to see whether there was an antenna on the back. Maybe. No. Bollocks. Very unfortunate. Okay. That's because Google blurs faces. Laugh out loud. Bullshit. If there were driver to driver, how did the side view mirror get shattered that way? I don't know. That's an interesting question. How did the side mirror get shattered? How did that happen? Maybe it was then when they were closing the door. I don't know. They closed it a bit hard. Confused about many things, but boy, Morrison could read faces. I'm sorry if I'm confusing people. I try to explain things. My mind works a little bit differently, I think. Though I am sane. Who uses word like grit other than carpenter describing sandpaper? Yeah. True grit? True grit. Isn't it grit in your boot or something? Grit. Yeah. Hit multiple times. How could you go from sad to, I don't know. And I guess he's seeing all these changed looks, right? He's sad when he's on the highway, even though he knows he's coming his direction. But was confused over it working. Yeah, the button. Every friggin' handgun available is nickel finish, so good luck trying to narrow it down. But conveniently, RCMP Brownings are nickel finish. Ah. Yes, well, I've wondered about this RCMP guns issue. Is that something they don't want to talk about? Definitely, something that's been raised. Instead of warning Heidi, he was hitting the save me button. I did hear a lot of save me. Now, I do understand the idea of self-preservation, but if he drove right by her and he'd just been speaking with her and he got shot, one would think, and he knew that she was coming towards him, why would you not let somebody know that? You'd let everybody know to come and help you multiple times. No. I don't know. Different strokes for different folks, maybe. Ambulance chasers, they should give you a book deal. Yeah. I don't think so. Not funny at all. Fiction book, laugh out loud, because they won't tell the truth in a book either. No, they won't. No, they won't. They're going to spin the narrative. History is always written by the victors, right? It's named Redacted. That would be a great name. It's just like black. My black box. Black RCMP. Black Lives Matter. No warning. No, it doesn't appear as though there was any kind of warning. But you never know. They have left it. They've left the box there. Fill in the blank. Let's go back. I'm going to go back to his earlier warrants and see. What was he saying? Because I'm pretty sure April 19th he was talking. Anybody aware of that? I'm local to all these places. If you need anything, let me know. Thanks, Jill. Thank you. Thank you to all of you. You guys are being like such a help. And you bastards that aren't, which I know a couple of you can go fuck yourself too. I was saying on the phone to Green Bastard because my phone started echoing on my end this time, which is weird. I've never had that. Pretty much every phone call I make with people, people are like, your phone is echoing. Anybody who talks to me for a couple times has now figured that one out. But it was echoing on my end, and I was like, yeah, good. You're encouraging me more. Now I'm just going to go harder. Good job. You want it to go away? Well, frankly, just keep pissing off people. That's a good idea. I'm writing a book. It's titled Sharpie, Too Far, and How the RCMP Used CPP to Fund Chinese Knockoff Sharpies. Well, they don't sound like they'd work too well, knockoff Sharpies. Would they? Wasn't his car. Oh, Little Miss So, how's it going? You're going to buy Todd's book? Sounds like a good book. 65 knockoff Sharpies for $2.25. What? Seriously? $9.50 here after taxes. You can get 65 Sharpies for $2.25. You can't even buy 5-cent candy anymore, I was told. You have to buy prior to the COVID. You had to buy bags of them, and they were like $5. I know they're ripping people off there because there's no way you're getting whatever 100 candies. Weren't there marks or dents on the SUV in yesterday's picture? Why they didn't say he hit Wortman? Did he hit Wortman? Is this damage from a car? I don't think so. He hit something, and this is not old damage. This would be that day. I mean, it's nice and clean, and they generally take care of their vehicles quite well. It's like taxi cabs, They're always washing them, and with your money. It's all your money. He had multiple opportunities to shoot RCMP. He's running and gunning. Yes, there was that interesting first report, and Leather said there was an exchange of gunfire. I've got that quote. Exchange of gunfire that evening. Okay. Amy, hello. If Morrison is at EMT building, he's facing the wrong way. So severe tactical disadvantage, aka he's dead before he knows what hit him, unless Stevenson is at EMT and Morrison is at SHUBE. Somebody floated that idea today. I never thought of that this is her vehicle, but I don't know how that works, but I need to ponder that one. Perhaps somebody can provide some insight on that. Amazing what one man can accomplish. Panda Girl. Hello. One man, in quotes. My question all along has been how Morrison is still alive. Wortman wasn't fucking around on the 18th or 19th. Morrison should be dead. He only seemed to let two people live. He seemed to pull her out of the car and execute her. A few minutes later. Plus, he's shooting him, and what's across the bridge, he's waiting a few minutes for. Is that right? Because she engages him a few minutes later. So did he just stop on the side of the road and wait? Right? Because it's literally right across the bridge. And they said it was a few minutes. They used the vaguity. Again, sorry for bluntness. No, never be sorry. Never be sorry. Sounds like Superman, not too many leaves on trees then. That's true, but I do have pictures from back then. So thank you to that person. I'll try and get those uploaded at some point. And there's pine trees, quite a few pine trees. Can he leap tall buildings? Not agreeing. Morrison has Google's new cyborg eye implants. Why is EHS station closed on a day like that? I would think there's always somebody there, isn't there? Somebody like to have nobody there, plus it's locked. Anybody, maybe somebody knows EHS people, has some answers on them, or worked as EHS or does. Not agreeing with his viewing, but leaves were not on the trees in April. Well, there'd be, yes, a lot less leaves, but there's also, I think we can go back and find video too. There's earlier video. Yeah, I'll go and find that. Don't worry. I think I downloaded it. This is scary on its face. Imagine how much worse when the truth comes out into the light. Yeah, whatever they're hiding, you know, I'm not being tinfoily. You got to go to these lengths because they understand how many people are being hurt, as in the families. They're re-victimizing these families almost daily. Seriously, because they're thinking to themselves, how did my loved one die? And they won't answer questions like that. They just won't. They won't tell them, you know, well, maybe it might have been quick. I've heard that. You can see parts of Highway 14, not Esso Station. Okay. Why would he be a sitting duck? Go grab your gun. Get your ready to do your job. Distance between Morrison and Stevenson's shot is very short. By car, it would be 15-20 seconds apart. Okay, sorry. So that's, yes, like I was saying. Did he wait around a few minutes? Did he honestly wait around a few minutes? He flipped a U-turn because he was going the wrong direction, then wherever he wanted to travel, Gina Goulet's house, to which I hear he didn't really know Gina Goulet, which is interesting. But great point, Alex. Great point. Morrison would have turned right to head towards Milford. Seems like they only just missed each other. I don't think they could have missed each other. They drove by each other. How big what are you talking about in terms of actual distance? It's so unbelievably small. Let's see here. What would it be? This would be the distance. If they were to miss each other, it would be somewhere between Papa K's Pizza here and the top of the ramp, right? And the top of the ramp on the other side, down past to Papa K's. Are we going to think that they're on either side at the same time? Possibility of that, sure. Likelihood, very low. Like very low, especially when they say it's minutes apart. Thing is, Jill, he was an office cop. Mr. Morrison was co-coordinator for the drug, what is it? The drug identification unit, or I forget what it's called. Drug something or other. And Heidi, funnily enough, seemed to be subordinate by the sounds of it, because she wasn't the coordinator, yet she had years, I think over a decade, in superiority. How does that work? I guess it must be those equal opportunity stuff going on over there with the RCMP. No excuse for public servant to not be properly equipped to do his job at all times. That's why they are being paid major pay in their salary and tactical training, etc. Tactical training, which was run by who prior to her appointment. Oh, that would be Lucky. Lucky was in charge of depot. I like that picture of her with Trudeau. Very good. Who alerted them of the shooting of Heidi when they rushed off to save Heidi? Who alerted them when they rushed off to save Heidi? I'm not sure if I've got that. Who alerted them off the shooting of Heidi when they rushed to save Heidi? Oh, yes. Well, I don't know. I think they from what I was told, they didn't check the vitals even. They just determined that she was dead right away. They could tell. And they jumped in the SUV, but there was some kind of a call because they rushed off right away and at a very high rate of speed. And I never quite understood how they couldn't see him on a straightaway driving all this way, but possible. And you'd think, plus I think this is a gravel driveway. It is. So if you're speeding on gravel, I don't know, you probably most of you are familiar with driving on gravel. It kicks up a lot of dust. Kind of noticeable. SWAT vehicles that were in the video arrived from Highway 2 north. Okay, so there was only one SWAT vehicle though. So I'm not sure where the other one went. One tactical unit. They were in the bay looking out and said, there's no car in the yard. Good to see our friend O'Deer in here. I can see for miles and miles and miles. I can see for miles and miles. He could overhear the radio traffic on his personal radio while hiding behind the EMT, peeing himself. Perhaps you get the yellow stripe. Yellow stripe. I refer to myself as Green Bastard all the time. I like the name change. But my eyes weren't that good. I didn't figure out who that was right away. I am starting to think Wortman was never in SHUBE at all. I don't think he was that. I mean, that is pure speculation on my part, but I don't think he was either. I think he went straight to Gina Goulet's, but that's my theory, and I'm just trying to go with that he was, but I have that gnawing away in the back of my mind. Exit 9102 is the exit that many police would use to have access Milford Station and SHUBE. Not with no leaves on the trees, Morrison could probably see the emergency vehicles on Highway 14. Yeah, well, again, how does he know that they're going to go and see Stevenson when he hasn't been told? He didn't radio ahead to tell them she was in danger. Didn't tell her. They would have seen the car when they pulled into the EHS station. Seen the car. They pulled into the EHS station. Glass cuts. A lot of cuts. He did have a lot of, it looks like scarring. He's going to have scarring or burn marks, yeah. If that's the case, police would advertise his ballistic vest when they're not. So, and she was apparently wearing two vests, soft and hard. Somehow McMillan knew that. I don't think it's appeared in a warrant, but I could be wrong. Of course, always open that possibility. It's not like I know everything, because I absolutely do not. As has been said, Morrison had a vest on. Okay, yeah, in redactions. No, we read that he did have that. Again, the nurse who said that, though, Any of you who know who the nurse is, please contact me privately. I can't remember her name. East Taunts, I believe. She has some connections. 215 is a pain in the ass. 215, I'm not sure. Okay. Of course, he had one on. It's mandatory. I avoid it at all costs. I'd rather drive 14 in Milford and backtrack to 14 in Milford and backtrack. Okay. Highway. Please, anyone in here when Cigar Shop video was released, 19th or 22nd? I believe Steve may have the answer for sure. I believe it was 19th. Let's see if I can tell you that. We did even know the time. We know who it was. Now where am I going to find that? Cigar, right? You'd think that's where it would be. You never know. Oh, Chris Tuller. Okay. What's this? Okay, that could be it. I don't think it was. I don't know. Did I get it off Facebook? This might be it off Facebook, but I think it would be late. I was late to the party on that one. April 22nd. There is a post. Steve, if you know, if you can answer that question for truth, that would be great. There is a post from the 20th. Is that right? Let's see, open. Which could be it. This one. Not meaning to dox this person. Please do not contact people. But it could be this one at 12:40 on the 20th. Interesting that I think that's the only one. IO set. Let's see what this is.
Lloyd Johnson isn't on Twitter, but his daughter, who lives in Cape Breton.
That's a very odd story. Odd story. I don't think. What is this one? 22nd. No. I think it may be the 20th at 12:39. Had other ERT vehicles because they were facing south upon arrival. Yes, interesting. That, I mean, why is it that he's seeing two ERT vehicles and saying those are the ones that's arriving there? Again, he still doesn't even know. Whatever. Bunch of balls. I worked for the company that makes textile for ballistics. They protect well. It's possible that but the RCMP not showing off his vest damages. They're not showing off anything. What have we seen? What have we seen? Have we seen a car? No. Have we seen weapons? No. Have we seen any cars at all? Other than the one at the staged scene down there. And because that was staged. You know, it was. They cleaned it up right afterward. They just got a bunch of photos. I think, funnily enough, professional photographer photos. Same individual again. Took those photos for the media. And then that's what they got. And then it was cleaned up a while later. Fully leveled. They didn't. It's not like you can go down there today and see that. It's completely clean. ERT flew through Brookfield at 10:45-ish. A single SUV? You and I can chat. Maybe if you're around, I'll give you a call. What about the shattered back window? Yep. Okay, addressed that one. Oh. Thank you. That was... See, you got awesome eyes. Way better than I. Green bastard. You saw that? You bastard. By law, the vest must be replaced so they know if the vest was hit or not. Yeah, that's right. As soon as it's garbage. Not sure what they did. Nothing happened at this point to alert them. Everything closed because Enfield was rendezvous point. Even the EHS station was closed? Hold on a second here now. Going to be good to go back and listen to the EHS tapes. Anybody wants to go back and listen to those, I think might maybe get a clue on some of that. Show back window of SUV. You want to show the back window of the SUV? I know I'm late to the party again. I'm always behind on my statement or my stuff. What do you want to see out of the back window? Have I shown the back window sufficiently for you? I don't think we can see anything other than the damage to what appears to be the passenger through the window. We can see the passenger, front passenger window smashed. There. Closed road, let them drive up to the pump stage. Yes, that was totally fake. All the media was there, or several media from very convenient angles, only certain ones. Those pictures, just like the ones in SHUBE, very carefully screened. That's why we don't have the one angle. Clearly, there were a lot of people that took pictures. Where did they go? Any photojournalist worth their salt is going to go around and try and get pictures from every angle. No, we only see a few. We only see, which angles do we see? We see basically south, some from the north end, from the south end, from the north end, and a couple of really great photos which got dumped from the west, but east side, nada. Just like Enfield gas station. You don't have anything really from... Those did get scrubbed. I noticed that. They absolutely got scrubbed, which was the ones from south side of the gas station at the big stop. Those are gone. Anything... I never have seen a picture from that would be the east side. Never saw a picture from the east side at all. Only pictures from basically the north end, a little bit kind of from the west end. There was actually quite a few. He had blue. RCMP should show his vest. It would be noticeable. The RCMP won't show anything. So it's a lie. Wow, sorry. Not so sorry. Didn't see this post. Sorry. Okay, I do. RCMP make RCMP look bad all on their own. This is very intentional. Very intentional. Don't fall down that hole. They want to look incompetent so that they can just say, well, sorry, don't look here, rather than they're throwing themselves under the bus. I don't know if I communicate that well. They throw themselves under the bus so that people stop looking, because they're just like, oh, well, you're just dumb. Sorry about that. No way can they be this dumb. And it's not, this again is not a statement upon any individual boots on the ground RCMP member. I really have a lot of feelings for them and sympathies. I really do. It's the trash with the white shirts that runs them. That's where we have a very serious problem. They don't even know what they're getting. Chairing the meeting. Okay. RCMP, this is the trash that run. That's the problem. And they run all these stupid offs and big fancy names. Totally. It's way beyond them. They need to go back to remedial school and refund all of the wages that we've paid them. RCMP Ottawa and media in full make everyone forget it happened mode. It's gone prime time, overshadowed. Absolutely. Gosh, it was, I think I still have the recordings from early on. What would that be? About third night? CBC National. It was about maybe 3 to 5 minutes, I would say, tops of the broadcast. The rest of the broadcast, almost entirely COVID and killer bees, funnily enough. Good stuff. Thanks for that. Biggest shooting in Canadian history. It's just major stuff, and it is major stuff. But you know what? We'll just report on anything else. Stop, Seamus. Why do I need to stop? 80 kilometers and 50 kilometers are two separate roads. Okay, I'm presuming 224 is 50. Yeah, we can visit about that. You can educate me. I'll get caught up to speed. Was talking to one of the reporters in Maclean's magazine a couple weeks ago. He worked with Paul P. He said there is a lot more work that to be done with this. I'm presuming, Amy, you're speaking of Mr. Meyer. Lots of stuff. He's keeping on it, as is Paul, of course. But they're up against a big machine. The media machine doesn't want them to say anything. I've watched hundreds of hours of videos, read many articles, and have talked to a few eyewitnesses on the mass shootings. Excellent. My unprofessional assessment is that this was a planned attack by powers. Here's two cars head on 50 kilometers. Where is the video, Steve? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, here we go. All right. Yes, smarty pants. What is this, 50 kilometers an hour?
Real life safety.
Okay.
This philosophy applies to all Mercedes-Benz cars. Looks pretty much like David versus Goliath. And they will collide to demonstrate their high safety standards. Thanks to its tritium cell, the Smart's passenger
I'm not understanding why.
A hard shell protects the soft core.
It's just a drive-by stuff.
It's no matter of size.
I don't think it's showing the speed. It can be tested, though. It can be tested. They didn't meet on 224. I know eyewitness who's seen him fly by on 2 under train bridge. I bet anything she came down 224. Everyone uses 224 off 102 or even the 2. Okay, you and I are going to have a visit. So when the general public realizes the truth is about COVID-19 and began uprising, why you can't win with an uprising when they have weapons and the people only have signs and sticks and stones. I don't know about the COVID. Again, I'm not throwing that. I'm just trying to solve whatever it was that happened that day. Beyond that, then we can get into other things. But She was totally protected all evening. Explain car positions of burnt cars facing opposite direction. Yes. We've discussed, I think, I don't know, Michael. I don't know. There's many videos clearly I've done. And even though they're hours and hours and hours long, lots of this stuff has already been discussed. And there was, I had a police officer I went and discussed who was court qualified, over 2 decades of accident reconstruction, retired. And he looked at the pictures for me and he said, yeah, no, there's, what you're seeing here is bullshit. It doesn't add up. There's lots of questions I have. The physics of that accident don't make sense. They simply don't. Anybody who knows physics, which I'm sure we all do, can look at that and see that. Mr. Penny, Michael Penny, can you access emergency run timing through local ambulance services would help to support possible, impossible reference routing. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much, Truro. I can only keep up the great work if you guys help me get the message out. That's really important, really important. And we can keep that interest alive. If you can spread it, we can go somewhere. If it dies, and they're working hard to make it die, really sad, really sad. Very sad. I hear from a couple of family members and I don't know. They're very kind in the sense that they're like, well, people have their own lives and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but they also have families too. We all do. Was LB playing poker with McDonald and Bo all night? Oh, no. Todd. Oh, no. No, Todd. Your jokes. A glass on the ground by the back door. Was that from the door being closed? Was that from the door being closed? Let's have a look. Where's that? So there's glass here in the ground from that window, which I heard was left open, but I have to investigate that a little bit more. So somebody's closed it. And then, because this crime scene was there for 2 days, am I correct? That's what I heard initially. This crime scene down at the Milford EHS station was there for 2 days, and it had taped off, and there was anywhere between 2 to 5 RCMP cruisers there, which would make it the longest crime scene outside of Portapique, which is pretty disgusting when you consider SHUBE, when you consider all the other scenes, which of course involved arson and murder, multiple murders, and we're dealing with somebody who I'm not diminishing that at all, who was shot in the arms, but survived. That seems to be a major crime scene. Really? No, something's funny about that. In fact, I read something very interesting by somebody. They said it was all out in the open for everybody to see. They're not hiding anything. It's like they were sticking a neon sign saying, look here, look here, look here. Do you understand? It's the things right sometimes in front of our eyes that we miss. They definitely need an exit plan for daylight bullet hole though. Bullet hole in back door below window frame. So was that the bullet that shattered the window? Possible. I don't know how I still don't understand how the mirror gets shattered. It's a weird one. Weird one. Mirror is just showing passenger window. No, I don't think so, Steve. I don't think so. because you can see behind the mirror, I think. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. You're right. Because I think that's the seat, and then you can definitely see the grill. What do you guys think? I could use that line. Let me know in the comment section below. Michael Penny, EMS hospital runs local area. I have no idea, but I live here, and the routes I said are most common. She would have been on 224. She can drive 120 kilometers or 120 kilometers an hour. Okay, I need to talk to you. So Morrisen sideswipes Stevenson, then ditches SUV at EMT, shoots it up, and then shoots himself and rolls in window shards. Sorry. Another thought I had was, because of the accident and the placement of cars, and I think we've discussed that before, obviously, but SHUBE, the damage on the front end of the car and the positions which they lie or lay, the front end damage all on the supposed Wortman car, right? What happens if he was rammed by the SUV? That would explain the damage on the front end of his car. She pulls around backside of him to block him off. Block off Wortman? Let's look at the picture. Because it looks very much like a police maneuver. Where's a good picture of that? I don't know if I have. I must have. Of course I do. I think that one picture, funnily enough, is the best one to show it. But is this one? It's fuzzy. The car comes to rest. No damage to the guardrail at all, anywhere in here. So if she was trying to cut him off, let's say he was rammed from the front, and then another police car, being Stevenson's, comes in to prevent him from reversing, boxes him in. And this is how this would make sense to me. But of course, we don't see the accident that takes place beforehand. I don't even think any witnesses ever refer to hearing the accident. They just hear the bullets, but they describe it as siding. They didn't know if it was siding, banging on their house. If there was no one at the EHS station, they would have had to drive in and seen the RCMP SUV. But on EHS recordings, it says she looks out and there is no car out there. Okay, excellent, oh dear. Yeah. It's too many things. I gotta have a list. Hopefully somebody's keeping a list of things. I love paper too. Yay, paper. Stewiak. Okay? Come on. You gotta forgive me. Yeah, I finally seen the Clinton video from, or the second video from Clinton Allison. He really threw the Truro police under the bus. I'm wondering if it was by design. RCM shit. Yeah. Certainly helps the RCMP to have him say he's totally has mental issues, that you can't believe anything that he says, and that he threw him. Like, nobody would do that. That's just totally nonsensical. I don't think I've ever heard of a person that has mental problems so severe that they want to brag about their mental problems. There's a lot of shame and stigma attached to mental illness. You don't get on the air like, yeah, look at me. You make this go viral. You can't trust anything I say. Older, no one said, never had, currently don't have push bars on current models. Okay, thank you. Not one push bar on any car images following days all over Nova Scotia. 12 on the Wortman car, thank you. None other had 12. Okay, so that's 6 per side. I think that was, oh dear. Don't want to miscredit things. That was very good. That good eyes. Good eyes. Can't quite see some of the things, but very good eyes. In the warehouse pick, the trunk antenna is clearly shown. Yes, it is. Ford Taurus, RCMP standard on the roof, on the back roof. I don't know if I get that. Okay. On the white truck picture, you can see the trunk antenna. Okay. Let me see here. I can't see the trunk antenna, but my eyes are terrible. I see something kind of dark, but it's not in the middle of the trunk. Even from the angle, it doesn't appear to be correct. Again, the doors, this doors thing is relevant. I hope I remember what it is. The open doors. Maybe in Nova Scotia RCMP blew the push bar budget outfitting Gabe's car and stockpiling up on Sharpies. That sounds logical. Definitely have to keep a lot in stock to keep in business like that. It's pretty, mirror is not shattered. Thank you, Steve, for multiple points. How come my live chat is completely different from the comments you're showing? What the fuck? Because I'm behind. That's why. That's why, because I'm very slow. Low rider. That's a great song. Mirror is not shattered. Okay, I'm not sure, Steve. I think he might be right. But we can have a look at that. Still, it looks like it shows dash or wheel in part of the mirror. It's interesting, though, that you'd see the mirror all the way, or the window all the way across on the other side. But you can see what appears to be the bars on the window. So I'll trust everybody else's great eyes. You know who I should get is Morrisen, because he sees through buildings and trees. Pretty awesome. I think most people agree that the 3 different scenarios that he's saying he's seeing through things, they can't all be that, you know, the leaves weren't there and stuff like that. Like, you can't see, I don't think you can see the gas station. If he's behind the building, no, you can't see that way. You can't see, I think maybe you can see through the lights. I could see that one. But I don't think you can see this grit look and melancholy. Would people agree? I think those 2 are BS. The lights, I can agree, but why is he saying that he knows about Stevenson already? Fuck it, see, yeah, I can kind of see it. Bet Space Force has dedicated satellite watching Seamus. Well, there's nothing exciting that goes on over here. Just some smoking Yahoo. There is a dent on the front driver's rim as well, it looks like. Oh, okay. I can't see that. You know, I don't know. We were talking about that, Bastard and I. How do you guys see the wheel well? The front one. The front wheel rim. There's no rim. Is that cut out on purpose? This looks to be the correct aspect. So, or is it? Maybe this is cropped. Ah, okay. How about this? How about this? Let's see the damage. Okay. How about if it is cropped even still? You're missing the front bumper and light. Maybe it would be more indicative of the damage. But this downward angle, it's just so strange. If you sped around a corner, maybe? By the way, hello. Hello, hitters. Hitter. I'm supposed to call him hater, I think. I always call him haters. I love my hater. Christian brother. Remind me, somebody sent me something. I'm going to read that as I'm losing tons of viewers because it's just dragging on too long. Points I needed to make were early on. Hopefully they absorbed. Now, there was a very good email I got with a very kind message in it. Where is it here? I liked it. Keep on exposing the truth. It is required. Ephesians 5:11. Take no part in unfruitful works of darkness, but instead expose them. Boom. Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Annette. Hopefully I'm not doxing you. I don't think so. First names are okay, right? Looks like a bit on the, I noticed that too, Steve. Too much sugar is not healthy, neither is smoking. Smoking's great for you. It puts hair on your chest. It's good. Just don't tell my grandmother that. She didn't have any hair on her chest, I don't think. I hope not. In the uncropped picture, aren't there dents on the front fender? Okay, let's look at that. Is there a difference between the uncropped one in terms of that? Well, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Oh, yes, you do see more. Okay, so this picture, even the other one, is cropped. Right? Because you do see the wheel well in this one. Right? So you can actually make this, if you shrink it, I could probably do it right now. It would take me a little bit of time and I think bore people, but this one, you don't see the wheel well. Right? So there's more to this picture. Do you follow what I'm saying? This one appears to be zoomed in, but it's not. There's still more to this picture. Somewhere out there, there's more. Heidi was assassinated, maybe not by GW, but sent by RCMP SWAT. Okay, well, I know that one was thrown out there right away. I think that was why we're like, well, okay, that's why they cover it up, but it's clearly something much bigger. They'll throw an RCMP sadly, under the bus very quickly, a regular force member. Makes you wonder how many RCMP civilian hires informants are on full pensions. There are the amount of money that's going out is crazy. We're talking, I don't even want to begin to guess. Hopefully there's not a problem with the comments. Many people are getting paid $1 million as an informant. That's not irregular. And they have a shit pile of them. Was there a call for assistance? Was there not a call for assistance that Heidi Stevenson heard? Was she reporting a call? He said, no, he said in the warrant. He said in the warrant he was heading to Milford. Right? Where's that? And said that he had been shot and he was going to the EHS station in Milford. So she knew where he was going. I believe this, I'm going to ask about this ERTT button, if that is kind of like a locator, like a GPS locator. I think it is. I think it is. So she wasn't responding to his call. I think she was just going to meet him. So if she was going to meet him and he wasn't there anymore and she knew that, how did she end up getting shot? Maybe I've been on too long. But if he's going to Milford, wouldn't she turn around? Wouldn't she turn around and go to Milford also? Why would she go to somewhere where her partner has been shot? Continue to go to, I don't think he radioed. I don't think so. I don't think he hit the button either. Lucky talking tactical rules. Oh yeah, while dodging flying Sharpies. Hitter, there you go, buddy. God, love Hitter. They did change they dropped the physical requirements and stuff like this. It's very much an intentional thing, I think, in discussions with the RCMP person. They believe that it probably is. It's almost like purposeful sabotaging of the RCMP to make them incompetent. You bring in people that can't do the job necessarily, or don't have the cojones, don't have the dedication, they're not up to it. And you stick them under all kinds of fear. Now you have a non-functioning police force, and a non-functioning police force is not obviously very good for helping citizens with their confidence and fear, because they're subjected to more. Fled for his life while his co-worker gets hit. Tough to live with. If in fact this is all true, and I'm not saying it's not, it just seems very suspect. The story doesn't add up. Todd Smith, lucky local tent maker, wealthy with uniform orders. I heard witnesses have said they heard shots in Portapique for a few hours. Yes, that is true. Well, Clinton said it. He's on tape, but of course they edited that out in Clinton 3.0. The latest version too is gone. I'm going to stick them all side by side so that people can see the different dates, the different versions, the different aspects now even. Crazy. Somebody actually said, oh, no, nothing's happening like that. Really? I've been following this really closely. Then you would have seen that. I think most people in the rural areas know the difference between a gunshot, hunters, and explosion like windows. Yep, I agree. I agree with you, Churro. Totally agree with you. I don't know. Do you email me? Have you emailed me? If you don't, please do. We can hook up. Not in that way. You know what I'm saying. Morrison stated that he heard a call for assistance on the radio. Heidi Stevenson responded that she would meet Chad Morrison at his position near SHUBE Wildlife Park. Morrison stated he heard a call for assistance on the radio. They were supposed to meet up. She ordered him, and then they didn't understand why necessarily, because stuff was up in Colchester. Where is that here? Brandish the handgun. Brandishing. There's another good word. Brandishing. Right up there with grit and melancholy. Constable Morrison was told by Constable Stevenson to go to the intersection of 2 and 224. Heard a call for assistance on the radio. He attended this location, was aware of events that were occurring in Colchester. Okay. Constable Morrison heard someone he thought might be Bruce. Staff Sergeant Briers, don't know where he's out of, ask for, possibly Enfield, ask for 2 East Haunts RCMP members to come to Colchester to assist. Morrison said, yeah, okay, so he did hear that. Constable Stevenson told Constable Morrison she would come to his position. Yes, that's true, but it's the next part that's the where I think it starts to have issues. I think it was the 20th. Yeah, that was the post. Okay, good. Okay. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that was the post. It's deleted. Which again, who would delete something that would generate you tons and tons of traffic, right? First of all, she's in Ottawa. Not exactly sure why she thought to get this tape. Wouldn't be the first thing on my mind. Hey, I'm going to go look through videotape. I don't think even the route was said or anything. Nothing was said by that point. So how did you know where he was? Where he went through? We didn't. I mean, they could suppose. But I mean, to do that in under 24 hours? Yes, and the time change too, right? I get different times. So that's actually 9 o'clock the next morning. Is that right? So 22 hours? 22 hours. And they'd scrub through a bunch of tape that they seemingly understood. And at 20 some odd years old, young female, again, not saying this in a bad way, just an observation. Young people like lots of traffic. That's their social media people. And so it was getting a lot of traffic, and then all of a sudden it disappears. She took it down. And in addition to that, would not answer any questions on it. Those are the facts. Thanks, Truro. Cigar shot videotape was uploaded 22nd. However, the time on the video was on the 19th, started at 10:54 a.m. and ended at 10:55 when GW was there for less than a minute. And we have the timestamp, which is off. That tape That tape just has issues. It has issues. And frankly, if they want to prove it, they can take a tape from the gas station next door, line it up side by side. I don't want to give them any ideas because then they're just going to go and fuck with things, but if they really want to. Oh, thanks, Steve. Thanks, Steve. The only thank you, Truro, too, was uploaded on the 22nd. I don't know. I have a 19th, but I don't know if that's accurate or not. The only journalist covering the shit shoe is you, Sells. No, that's not true at all. Steve, shit shoe? Shit shoe. I like that. Steve is working really hard. Adrian and Cage have been working awful hard. And of course, everybody else here, massively hard. And Paul and Stephen. So lots of people. We need more. Good. Talk to your friends at the water cooler if you don't have to wear the mask. I don't know. The more attention that we can garner, this is important because they're going to shut it down. They are shutting it down. That's what the guy, I thought, a long Truro guy, very important fact. When was it that you contacted her? I think that took a few days, though, right, to figure out who. The time on that video was released is important. It is. It is. I just find it odd how that kind of slipped in. And then Campbell said, you know, the videotape that everybody heard about and they cropped out the time. And cropping. Hierarchy is diseased. Killer hornets, yay. Media party is media party over the shit show. Crickets, yeah. It was always crickets. It was always crickets. And certain journalists, vomit. They're totally in. But then it's the editors, and then above the editors, the owners. Not very many. Federal policing is a farce. Local policing is the only way forward. Neighbors knowing neighbors. Only way the community can hold each other accountable. 100%. Yep. You can't have these gigantic things and expect somebody from across the country to care. Sadly, this is the world we live in, by and large. I'd like it to be that way, where people just care because it's people. But, you know, if it's somebody from the community, then they're going to take care of each other a lot more. Hopefully not with, you know, lots of small town stuff where I don't like you. You messed around with my sister. I'm not going to help you. No justice for families. Disgusting. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. All policing is farce presently. Somehow that seems almost on purpose. Isn't it strange? L. Jones. Wow. Tim and L. Jones. Anyway, moving along. Tommy Gunn, we live upside down. Justice means no justice. Everything, yes, is bizarre world. Also province living in fear and nobody can trust. Bang on. Wow, you coming out with all kinds of great stuff. Little Miss So, all Fido is attitude for most officers in Toronto. Really? That's fucking sick, man. Well, soon it'll just be people taking care of people, hopefully. Hopefully. You know, if the police don't want to do it, then people will just do it. Just like Clinton said. I'd go in there. I don't care if the guy's got a gun. If I know people are in jeopardy, I'm going to go. That's what he said. And I'm exactly the same way. Who cares? Who cares? We got to do what we can to take care of each other. Trust goes back, not knowing, really knowing neighbors and getting away from federal central planning systems. Yes, this global crap is obviously just a total and utter fail. It really has done so much damage. Whereas if we're just kind of staying local and, I don't like the technology. The technology has to go in the toilet, and will. Smart people will eventually throw it all away, but then I don't get to visit with you guys. Loomis, so F it and drive on. Yep. Haha, nice one. From what I heard about TO, they literally fuck it. Anything, too. And then drive off. Oh, okay. I don't want to know about that. Foul. RCMP, just cleanup crew. Do they actually ever stop crime? They scare the shit out of people. But I don't think, again, this is the regular boots on the ground, most of them. They're good people. There are a lot of good people in there. Regional cleaning monitoring properties. Okay. Gonna have to stick that in the psychiatrist needs a psychiatrist. Who's psychiatrist? My psychiatrist? Gotta go, keep up the great work. Awesome. New puppy. Yay, new puppy. Blue nose. You had a better picture before, little Miss So. What make a pup? Boxer puppy. Awesome. Aw. My dog was sick last night. He was waking me up with diarrhea many times. Cool boxers are fun, playful. Okay, great with kids. Congrats on your puppy. Yes, very beautiful. Everyone telling me heart still very original with the original. Guy's gonna grow on me. Well, I'm sorry that you. Hard to lose our friends, right? Probably crop Morrison out of it. Okay, lots of great wishes for little Miss So and her puppy. Everybody's talking about puppies. Puppies, awesome. Has been confirmed. Heidi Stevenson filed a complaint against. Has it been confirmed? No, it has not. And it would be very hard to find out. Possibly many years down the line, you may find out. Though it has been rumored. Does that mean it happened? I don't know. Why I can't get out of my lap? It's normal, cool, good to know. Well, Miss So, happy for your family. Yay. I like, everybody's being nice to everybody is all good. I'll get the down votes, though. I like that. I'll get the one down vote, probably. I don't know who that is, but I guess they feel good about things. Well, that's good. Have a nice day. Nice personality. Reversing the pad training. Aw, lost your first dog. Yeah. Yes, many. There are using social engineering, same social engineering on police forces that they use on all of us. Absolutely. Everything is fucking mass manipulation. Disgusting. Yeah, you can go to McKenna. Don't bring your dog around her, which I shouldn't really comment. I know that's probably going to upset a lot of people, but I too have eaten dog. But it's in Vietnam, so it's kind of a different world. Gotta go. See you later, Blue Nose. Have a good one. It's all about dogs. That's right. Well, he was curious. But his curiosity, I don't think he saw what was going down, and he was worried. Paying attention. We're paying attention, honestly. Thank you. Thank you for paying attention. Clinton's brother was a social worker, enjoyed police radio surfing. Why? Was he working with Heidi? I don't know. Don't know. Is Paul familiar with, is the Paul most are familiar with still active on the case? Yes. He is very much active on the case. There's stuff going on with, yeah. So we can just say prayers for everybody, and but you know, Tim really threw him a curveball, which was a total shit move. But of course, it was Tim. Kind of showed his colors, and more will come out in the future about that, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, so thanks very much, everybody, for tuning in. I do hope that if you have any ideas on any of the information that I've said, if you want to correct me, awesome. I always want to make sure I'm doing it by the book, doing things that are correct. And I really do obviously appreciate all of your assistance. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And I know Tara does, and I know the family members do too. So please continue to talk with your friends about it. I know that it's a difficult issue. It's a difficult issue, especially for those down in Nova Scotia. And frankly, you know, a lot of people will just be like, well, I don't care. But that's the problem. That's something that we need to address collectively. Caring about each other is not a bad thing. And you guys are all up to speed on lots and lots of stuff. So you can take that information and just spread it around. Then we can say, we're going to get the truth. What's that? I like that quote. Take no part in the unfruitful works of darkness, but instead expose them. God bless you, everybody.